This season on Survivor CNU.
Welcome to Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage.
14 college students agreed to participate in the ultimate social experiment while being full-time students. They were divided into two tribes, Red Terror and Azteca.
Survivors ready?
Yes.
Go!
After Azteca lost the first immunity challenge, an alliance was formed between John, Carson, Emily, and Adam, and they grew suspicious of Lewis.
But somebody who knows Lewis was telling me that his goal is he wants to be the guy who caused a bunch of drama.
Despite feeling safe at tribal council, Lewis was blindsided, becoming the first person ever to be voted out of Survivor CNU. On Red Terror, Shane, Alexis, and Josie formed an alliance.
We're down. I fist bumped him.
And decided to add Madison as their fourth to form the Quad Squad, ultimately coming together to vote out Amanda. After Red Terror won the third immunity challenge, it seemed like Gwen was the one to be voted out.
To me and said that we had lost, and then they threw out Gwen's name kind of right off the bat.
However, Emily flipped on the guys by revealing the alliance to the rest of the girls.
I'm in group chat with them. And so it's the four of us.
And casted her vote for Carson.
Sorry, Carson, it's nothing personal. I'm just gonna look out for myself.
After two tied votes and no decisions made, Rocks became the only option.
3, 2, 1, reveal.
After drawing the purple rock, Georgia was sent home, with 0 votes cast against her. After a surprise tribe swap,
Alright, Survivors ready? Drop your belt. Drop your belt. You did not. Oh, that's disgusting.
No! First of all,
Drop your belt. Everyone drop your belt. We're switching tribes.
the new Red Terror tribe was stacked with testosterone, as they won the next 2 immunity challenges, seeing both Gwen and Harry voted out by the Quad Squad girls.
Drop your belt. You're merged.
After the merge, the guys formed an alliance to take out the girls, putting Shane in the middle between them and his former Quad Squad girls. When it came time to vote, Shane went with his original alliance, voting Carson out.
This is a big vote.
Shocking the Azteca boys, and making Carson the first member of the jury. After Madison won immunity, the Quad Squad, along with Jimmy and Emily, agreed to split the vote between John and Adam. However,
John is on the line.
John and Josie's relationship led to a last-minute vote switch, leading to chaos before and during tribal council.
Gentlemen, Godspeed.
In the end, Alexis and Shane conceded in voting Jimmy out of the tribe. However, John and Josie's relationship was now known to everyone.
Josie played all of us very well.
John and Josie are stupid powerful.
And a new alliance was formed to break up the duo.
me, Adam, Emily, and Shane are all gonna vote Josie.
Despite a hard idol search, Josie was blindsided, leaving John on the bottom again. At the final 6 immunity challenge,
Shane wins immunity.
Shane gave the clue to Alexis, showing to everyone they were the duo running the show. This gave John enough ammunition to try to flip the game.
Basically, Shane and Alexis are running circles around everyone.
Pretty much.
And get his revenge.
So if it goes well, that's for Josie.
By sending Alexis home and giving Shane a taste of his own medicine. A blindside. After losing Alexis, Shane knew he was fighting for his life in the next immunity challenge.
I can't drop.
After 3.5 hours, Emily finally stepped down, giving Shane a much-needed win. With Adam planning on playing his immunity idol, the guys came together to split up the girls, voting Emily out as the 5th member of the jury. Now we were down to the final 4. John. He started the game in the middle, but with his alliance with Adam and Carson, he was able to make the merge. After losing close allies Carson and Josie, he was able to put himself into more favorable positions, convincing people to turn against Shane and Alexis. Can he talk his way into a win, or will his luck finally run out?
I didn't think that it would be as intense as it has been. And I would love to see it be intense all the way up until the end.
Madison, the last remaining girl, she started as the 4th member of the Quad Squad, which dominated the post-swap game. After the Touchy Subjects challenge, Madison began to take control of her own game, blindsiding her former alliance members in Josie and Alexis, and making a final 2 deal with Emily. However, with Emily gone, will she sink or swim?
I can win this shit. I can do it. Depending on what the next challenge is, I can so do it.
Adam. After making the alliance with the Azteca boys, he found his first idol and was able to use it during a potential vote split. His real-life friendship with Shane has led the two to go against each other as well as most recently work with each other, and after finding and playing a second idol, he has built a strong resume for the jury. Will his resume be too much to keep him around, or just enough to get him the win?
It's a completely individual game now, I think. I think it's less on trust and less or more who you can take further, or who do you think voting with could take you further.
Shane. He started the game as an all-around threat. He was voted most likely to win by his trimates as he was the figurehead of the Quad Squad alliance. He played both sides to control the game with Alexis. After she was blindsided, he used his relationships with John and Adam to get back on top. Will he be dethroned or will he take the crown?
I'm by myself at this point. Like, there's 4 of us left. Like, I have nothing to lose.
After 68 days, who will have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast all the rest to claim Survivor CNU's first title of Sole Survivor?
The winner of Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage.
Come on in, guys. Take a spot.
Chuck E. Cheese token?
Alright, Shane, I'll take it back.
Sure. I'm not gonna do it to you.
Well, I'll just take it.
Literally take it.
Once again, everybody's back up for grabs. As you guys can probably already guess what the challenge will be. You will be given baseball bats on the bottom. You will hold the baseball bat like upside down so that the bottom is right here. I will call out a different coins. You will need to place them on there. I will give you a count of 5, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If your stack at all falls, even throughout the counting down process, you are out. Once you are out, if something falls, hold on to the bat and take a seat back there. Last person with a stack on top wins immunity. 1 in 3 shot at winning Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage. And you already have your spots, so we'll get started. Alright, your first coin is Chuck E. Cheese token. Start off with a bigger one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone is good. Alright, next coin. Penny.
Oh, we're not gonna sit here for a while?
No, penny. We're going all out. It's final 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone's good. Next one we'll do is quarter. Give you a chance to find it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone's good for the third coin. Next one we'll do is a penny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone's still looking good. Alright, let's bring it back. Chuck E. Cheese token. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone looking strong. Another quarter. Trying to find it. 3, 2, 1. Everyone is still looking good. Everyone wants to be in the final 3. Let's do another penny. We got a lot of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Still looking good. Stack's starting to get a little tall here. Everyone holding near the top except Shane. Interesting strategy. Let's do the other nickel. We only had 2, so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. On. This is where it starts to get hard. I think it's time for another penny. A little time to find it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stack's getting really high now. Let's do a quarter. 5, 4. Shane drops a coin from the table. 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Hopefully I don't call the rest of the quarters. Yeah. Let's do Chuck E. Cheese token. Madison quick with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John's looking a little off there. Adam's looking straight. Madison looks pretty straight. Shane looks pretty straight, but he's wobbling a little bit. Let's do another dime. Back-to-back dimes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone's still good. John's looking really slanted now. I see a little slant on Ada. I think everyone's got a little slant. Shane looks the most straight, but he's wobbling the most. Let's do another dime. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. John's is really off there. Everyone's looking pretty straight now. Adam adjusted. Let's do a Chuck E. Cheese token. Oh, John, first out of the challenge. Don't just take a step back. Take a step back. Take a seat. 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Shane's really wobbling now. Let's do a quarter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Oh, Shane's really slanted now. Let's do a penny. Another penny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Let's do a penny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Adam just gets it in time. Just gets it in time. Let's do another penny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Everyone is starting to slant and shake. It's getting really hard now. Chuck E. Cheese token. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Adam is really wobbling here. Shane's is still really slanted. Let's do a quarter.
Fuck. Adam is out, Shane is out, Madison wins immunity. Just like that. 1/4. That's all it took. Good job.
Oh, I gotta come on.
Alright, come and get it. Madison? Well earned. Good job.
Thank you.
1 in 3 shot at winning this game. As for the boys, one of you is going home. Final goal, 1 immunity. Let's see that travel. Congrats.
Thank you. Last tribal, kind of wild.
I was pretty worried, but it went perfectly, and that really is something that I do kind of like credit myself for.
I was surprised that he went out and like put it on his neck and like was like, I'm safe, go for me kind of thing. Like
I know how I feel about it now. I'm a little bit salty that he just went around and looked at every single freaking tree. Ugh, I should have done that.
Him playing the idol has now sort of skyrocketed him to me as being a bigger threat to win in the game. I would say even him and Shane are probably on the same playing field at this point. So I mean, he good on him. That was very, very impressive.
I think we all kind of feel that like no matter which one of us three goes against either of the girls in a final 2, we would probably win.
The 3 guys like stuck together and wanted to go final 3. Taking out Emily was absolutely, I think, the best decision, and I'm glad like it panned out.
I told them right before we went into the room that I was going to go to the bathroom, and as I was walking away, they kind of like made faces at each other, and I figured that that meant that if any of them won, they were going to vote me out. So
I thought that, you know, that we were gonna, one of the 3 of us would win the challenge, but you know.
yeah, that challenge though.
And then when I knocked the quarter over, I was like, well, I'm just hoping that at some point, like, you know, like that everybody else is gonna drop before Trevor calls the next quarter.
You called that quarter, and I knew that Shane was going.
You know, it happens. I made a mistake, and it sucks, but you know.
Shane like dropping all of his kind of startled Adam, I guess, and like made him shake a little bit more. I'm excited that happened.
Honestly, it's kind of a blur. Like, I don't even remember the coin that I was trying to put the quarter on.
I done rocked it out. I did good. I knew I was gonna do good too. I knew I had that one. I'm so proud of myself.
We're like, well, we had a 75% chance of winning that challenge and then voting Madison out. Because all we needed was one of us to win and we'd be alright. But
I feel like I'm honestly in an okay spot right now. I don't know, like I'm not safe, but like I feel like John really wants to work with me, and I feel like Adam really wants to work with me, which puts me in a good spot.
Shane and I kind of have like a final 2 deal going.
I don't know, you know, which one's being more truthful at this point, and that's what I'm trying to feel out. You know, they could just be playing me, both of them could be, but I just don't see it at this point. I see them as we don't want to like lie to you and do all this stuff and then expect your vote at the end. Like that's kind of how I'm basing the thing. It's hard for me because I'm close with both of them, and like I don't want to lie to either one of them, but like I have to lie to one of them. I don't have a choice at this point. Like there's no other options.
Have you talked to Adam? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so right now I think technically I'm in the middle between like y'all two. He like thinks I'm with him, but in actuality I'm with you. But I'm trying not to like give anything away. But at the same point, I don't want Adam to hate me, so I'm not like I'm not trying to be like a dick about it. But like I have to kind of lie to him at this point and just be like, yeah, I'm with you to vote John, because he's really on board to vote you out. Is what it sounds like, because he thinks that you and Madison are like 100% gonna go for me. He doesn't think that you and I would work together at this point. So
Adam has played 2 idols now, so that was a big thing that he argued for, saying that, you know, Adam has a lot of power in this game. He's made a lot of like not huge moves, but like at the same point, like he's found 2 idols. He hasn't really wronged anybody. You know, he's a nice guy. Like
that's what sucks. It's like at this point, like I'm trying to play for jury votes too. Yeah. And like I don't like lying to people. I didn't, you know. It's not like I enjoy like backstabbing people. It's just because I feel like I've had to at this point. But now like it's gotten to the point where like I don't want either one of y'all to get voted out, but it sucks because she won that stupid challenge.
I think like for me, I would like to take John to the end, but I just have to make sure I can trust him.
It seems to me that Adam wants to be with me, and it seems like you want to be with me, but like Adam, I'm a little bit more flaky about, where he could just flip on me in the next vote, where it feels like you and I have more of a security blanket, where it's like we want to stay together till the end.
He seems to want to go to the final with me. I don't know if he's playing me.
The thing is, I have my final 2 deal with Shane, and whether I decide to keep that or not, we'll find out if we both make it to final 3. But having that final 2 deal with him, and then also Madison confirmed that she wants to go to the end with me too. So I'm very like I want to make sure that it's me, Shane, and Madison in the final 3.
I'm trying to think, like between the 2 of us, like that's why I would like the 2 of us at the end, because I feel like we both we have votes secured. Like I feel like Alexis would vote you 100%. Josie would vote me, but we've also like both pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, and like at that point it would just be like, you know, people would have to like hear us out, like
because I just want to make sure I'm safe.
The boys are gonna try to take me out, I feel like. But they're not smart to do that. I feel like any of them could win against me if they made it like a good enough case.
It'll either be, I mean, I have a lot of faith that Shane and I are going to stick together. So it'll either be a tie between Adam and someone, hopefully Shane, or hopefully Madison will join up with us and just vote out Adam, and that would be the simple vote, and that would go perfectly. I think me, Shane, and Madison would be my ideal final 3 rather than having Adam in there.
So I just want to know your thought process first.
For this upcoming one?
Yeah.
I think Adam.
Okay.
100%.
Why do you think Adam?
I don't want to make it clear that Shane and I have a final 2 deal, because then Adam and Madison will probably turn on me.
I know Shane is 100% wanting Adam, and then I know Adam's trying to get me, so it's kind of like.
Well, I'm meeting with both of them after
You
this.
are?
Yeah.
I'm hearing
so
much
I can let you know what they say.
Okay.
I would prefer if Shane left, just because I feel like he would have more votes against me than Adam would.
But honestly, like I know like the whole game, like it seemed like Shane was like the biggest threat, but after Adam found both idols, like just with the last one, like I just see him as being the bigger threat. And I feel like going to final 3, like I feel like we're both on the same page as far as taking Shane out if he wins. But I feel like regardless between the 2, like I feel like we're in the same situation.
Yeah.
Like, we need to take one of them out now, and then the other one in that final 3.
Yeah. I mean, like my plan is to take you to final 2 if I get that chance.
Yeah.
Like 110%.
I'm very much trying to make sure that it's me, Shane, and Madison in the end, but it's getting hard because Madison really wants Shane.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he has like done more challenge-wise than Adam has.
No, I thought with the last couple ones, I thought he hasn't been doing as much. Like the endurance one, like he knew it was on the line, so that kind of made sense. And Adam had the idol, so it made sense that he jumped off. I don't know. They're both close.
They are.
I'm more challenge-wise. I just feel more threatened by Adam than Shane. I just feel like between the 2, I feel more threatened by Adam, and then with Shane also 100% being down to vote Adam, I feel like that's like I guess easiest and
like
best
it is
for
an
us.
easy vote.
Yeah, just because we know we have Shane's number on our side. But honestly, like between the 2 of them,
It just sketches me out.
yeah.
She is adamant that she wants Shane to go, which I was like, I don't know. I understand her argument. I think between the 2, like, she does see Shane as the bigger threat, which makes sense. I mean, they're both, honestly, to me, both of them are huge threats.
It'd be cool if we could get him out, but I know that John has talked to Shane, and they want Adam out.
Talking to Madison was very enlightening, because she still was saying, like, Shane is like a massive threat to win the game, which I think he is, but recently I've kind of seen him more, and I think a lot of it's because we built a stronger relationship. I've kind of started to see him as less of a threat than I think everyone perceives him.
It really was like just kind of like all over the place, and then he got screwed over with the Alexis one, so he completely lost power with that. Whereas Adam always kind of like found himself on the right side of the numbers, whereas Shane was running stuff, but then like kind of got knocked off the pedestal, and like he had to win those immunity challenges because he knew that he was the next one to go. But during that time, Adam has started to like rise as a threat to me.
Eventually, it was just kind of like, okay, like I want Adam, Madison wants Shane. Madison's gonna go talk to Shane and Adam, and see what happens.
I think I still am trying to feel out what I want to do. I need to talk to Madison and see what she really wants to do, because I think her vote is super. I mean, every vote's substantial, but I think her vote is definitely the most substantial at this point, because we're all kind of just vying for her vote.
What's your thought process?
Okay, my thought process is, I know that like we've kind of been like going against each other a little bit. But the cool part is like, I think we're the only two people that are from like the original tribe left. I think everybody's a threat. It's not like nobody's like not a threat.
We all at this point, like we all have our pros and cons.
I know like a lot of people see me as a threat, but like the thing is, I have stabbed a lot of people in the back at some point in this game. Like a lot of people like Jerry are not really super pleased with me. Adam for me seems to have like the best well-rounded game right now. Like he's played idols, but he hasn't really wronged anybody. Like he's kind of just stayed in the middle, played pretty nice. Like John and I both were kind of like at points had to like stab people in the back. Like he stabbed Alexis in the back, I stabbed Joe's in the back. So like those two kind of like counteract each other.
Yeah. Like I feel like all of you are threats to me at some point. Like I don't think that I would win against any of you. So like I don't care who goes home.
Talking to Madison later today, and
okay, cool. So I just want to know like your thought process first.
I have never spoken to Madison alone or in a group, like in this game. So she approached me first, and she texted me first and said, "Hey, I know we haven't spoken at all this game, but would you be down to meet up?"
I've literally never talked a game with Adam at all ever. So like, I don't know.
I'm gonna mainly talk to her about voting Shane, but I don't know. I want to see where her head is at.
So, to me, John and Shane are both very different threats. Shane is a big challenge threat, whereas John is more of a social threat.
I see where you're coming from. So I talked to both of them earlier today. They both want you. And I told John that I wanted Shane. Like I don't think any of us could win against him, basically. John told me that if I could convince you to vote Shane, that he would be open to it also.
I'm not to vote Shane.
Okay.
I mean, hearing that him and John both want me gone.
Yeah,
I'm down to vote Shane.
Okay.
Because I agree with you, Shane. Now that I'm thinking about it, Shane has also really been on both sides, because he's worked with a lot of the guys, pretty much every guy except Carson, and then he's worked with, I think, every girl.
Basically.
So, and if we can't get John, then it'll come down to a battle between Shane and I.
Okay.
And we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I think
I
it's
think you could beat him.
I hope.
I have a feeling that either way, like, I feel like I'm in a decent spot. I don't know. I feel like more comfortable than I did last tribal, which is weird. And I was safe last tribal, so I don't know. I could be blindsided right now. But.
Okay, so like my only like I'm still very hardcore. Like I want us two in the end, but like Madison made it very clear that Madison and Adam are voting you tonight, and like for her, like talking to her, she's like she was saying like, oh, if Shane makes it to the end, like I can't not give him my vote.
It's just I'm gonna lay it all out. Like you can like throw my game out right now. Like,
at this point, there's
like,
no idols, so there's no use like lying to anyone.
So
like
I'm just gonna lay out exactly what I said today, and if it bites me, it bites me. But I talked to Adam. I told Adam I wanted to vote you out, and so this is my whole play of. My original plan was like, let's do 2-2, just make sure that I'm safe, and then if it goes to a challenge, it goes to a challenge, you know. But now I'm thinking, I just want Madison to feel like you and Adam are voting for me. But in actuality, Adam will most likely be voting for you. Madison will most likely be voting for me, and then the two of us can just vote out.
You know, I just think, like I said, I feel like John and I have played a little bit more similar games than Adam and I have. So that's why I feel like my chances of winning would go up with John, I feel like, more so than with Adam, because Adam just hasn't really wronged anybody, whereas John has. Like, he just backstabbed Emily. So, like, you know, like, there's going to be people who are upset on the jury with him.
Okay, because I think she is full out committed to vote me out. I don't think she has any.
She is.
So
I have not.
And I think Adam is committed to voting you out. Is what
Really?
Yes. Because I think I swayed him today.
So if I take out John, I think I'm taking out more of a social threat rather than a challenge threat.
So we
And
just kind of
like, even if it doesn't work out, like it goes to a challenge.
That's the thing. Like, even if it doesn't work out, most likely myself and Adam will go into a challenge at that point.
Shane, like, we have our final 2 deal, and like there's a possibility that he could stab me in the back.
He thinks that him and I are on the bottom, we have to stick together, ... And I'm just like, I'm trying to keep playing that up, like, you know, we have to stay together, we have no choice but each other. Like, they're gonna gun for one of us, so we have to like stay together and make sure we're good. And then I feel bad because I think he really wants to be with me, because I shook his hand, pinky promise, all this shit. Like, I lied a lot today, and I feel really bad about it. But at this point, I'm so close. Like, we're so close to the end. Like, you have to do anything. Like,
I'm gonna tell Shane that if Madison and Adam are voting for him, and if I'm gonna stick with him, he needs to like give me his word. Like,
I'm all for the two of us going to final 2 together. Yeah. But I want like your word that if I'm gonna stick my neck out for you with this vote, like,
I got you.
If I'm gonna be furious if I stick my neck out for you and then you win immunity and cut me out.
No,
at
like,
final 3.
If I do that, I don't deserve your vote. Like, it's hard for me because I can't like show you, but like, I legit, like, I don't want to work with her. She's been gunning for me so long.
She has. She wants you gone so bad.
She's wanted me gone for like 4 or 5 votes now.
So I really, like, if I go to final 3 with him and Madison, I don't even know if I would want to win that challenge.
And ever since, like, after Alexis was voted out, like, we kind of had our
thing, like,
and I want to see that through to the end.
Yeah, and I think if we can just stay together and hopefully one of us wins, if there's a challenge, hopefully one of us wins, but hopefully we don't have to do that. Hopefully we just stay together, play it off really well, and if we make it through this vote and we make it to the end, like, that's going to be an epic move.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of who wins at that point.
At this point, I do trust Shane to an extent, just because we've been very honest about what we want in this game, at least as far as I know. And whether we actually follow through with a final 2 deal or not, at least surviving this vote, I feel pretty confident that we'll be sticking together.
I'm excited for this vote. I mean, I'm nervous, but I'm still like, I think my game is, I'm trying to like make sure that I'm like very careful at what I say, how I act with this vote, like not try to act like I'm in control or anything. Just hopefully my name doesn't get thrown out too much. I know it's going to, but like, as long as those two can just gun for each other and I can just kind of hide underneath them for now, like, that's my whole objective of this vote. Like, just make sure that I'm safe.
I don't know. I don't know what my vote's going yet.
I have to decide because it's a very difficult decision.
So we have some of the members of our jury. We have Carson, Josie, Alexis, and Emily voted out in the last tribal council. So Madison, the last 3 people voted out were females. Do you fear that it would be you if you had not won immunity?
Yeah. That was basically my motivation behind winning it. I kind of knew that, like, if I didn't win, that I was going to be the next one out.
So John, does Madison winning immunity sort of give an open vote to use?
I think in a way, her winning immunity, in a way, gives her a lot of power over this Final 4 vote. And especially, like, it was the 3 guys that came together for the previous vote, so I think going into this vote,
you seemed to be the one confused at last vote. Does that make immunity even more powerful for you?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm usually confused, but I went into today very open-minded, and I don't think that I'm as lost as I was last time.
Shane.
I need to stop doing this. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, that was my answer.
Shane, does Madison's confidence worry you or make you feel more at ease?
I'm very confused tonight. I think we flipped. Like, I'm very worried and nervous. But I think all three of us are really worried and nervous at the same time. Like, nobody's really safe at this point. Like,
So Adam, since no one really is safe, how difficult is it to trust anyone?
Super difficult. It's to the point where your alliances have gotten you to this point, and it's a very individual game. But I mean, you got to work with people, and I think I've worked with people well enough to get me through this point.
So Shane, with Final Trouble Council just around the corner, what factors into your decision tonight?
at this point, I'm just trying to think of if I can win, how can I do it the best way? I don't want to piss off anybody or get anybody's nerves at this point. I just want to try to play my best game at this point, and hopefully that'll get me through.
John, how hard is it voting people out knowing that they'll be joining the jury?
No, it's very hard. At this point, you have to kind of find the balance between surviving the upcoming tribal council, but we're getting to the point where you don't have as many choices of who you want to sit next to at the end. So you kind of have to find this balance of like, okay, you want to survive this upcoming vote, but also you need to think about it, okay, if you survive, who are you going to be sitting next to at final three? And are those people that you want to be sitting next to? And it's now more than ever, like it's been very difficult to find that balance.
Adam, give me the percentage you're going to get votes tonight.
Percentage that I'm going to get a vote? I think it's like 99. I think I'm going to get a vote.
Okay. Shane, what about you?
99.
John?
I think 100. I don't know what the 99 is about. We're down. It's between three of us, and I think the three of us are very, very good players. So I'm kind of like expecting a vote. I just hope it's not.
All right. And with that, it's time to vote. Madison, you have immunity. Are you giving it up?
No.
Just think about it.
All right. Madison, you get immunity. It's time to vote. John, you're first.
Comes down to between you and Shane. I feel like Shane would be more likely to take me to Final Two as opposed to you. Between me and Madison, so that's the only reason for it. But I mean, we've been together for a long time, so this kind of hurts me. But you're awesome, so just leave it at that.
I have anything sassy to say this week.
Yeah, this oh god, this is the hardest vote ever. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. I literally have no clue I'm voting for yet. I'm just gonna sit here for a second and contemplate. Mighty Mo, let's go.
I'll decide the votes. All right, I'll read the votes. First vote, Shane, Adam. John. That is 1 vote Shane, 1 vote John, 1 vote Adam, 1 vote left. The 11th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Adam, I don't even bring your torch.
I don't know how to turn the torch on there.
That's wild.
Adam, time spoken. Time for to go.
Hey, Adam. I'm taking all your phones. You're still attractive. I'm not hating. Please don't hate me.
Well, we have 7 days left in this game, 1 challenge left, 2 more tribal councils. Let's finish this up strong, guys. I'll see you next challenge.
So I got backstabbed hard by Shane. Just gonna oust him. That's all.
The boys are actually idiots. I don't know where to begin. So I talked to John first. He was very adamant on getting Adam out, which is actually stupid. Like, that's probably the dumbest decision he could have ever made. I also told him that I planned on taking him to Final 2, because that was the truth. I feel like I could beat John. Met with Shane. He basically told me that he wanted a Red Terror reunion and told me that he would take me to Final 2, which was bullshit, because I can tell when he's lying. He doesn't know that, I guess. Well, I mean, like, we all know that he, like, strung me along for a while when I wasn't really part of that alliance. Literally said that in front of me and then came to me today and was like, I think it would be really cool if Red Terror had like a little reunion and like we could say that like we came back together. And I was like, I don't know that that would be too cool. And then I met with Adam for like 5 minutes. Adam said he wanted John, and I told Adam that Shane wanted him out, basically, because he told me that. Adam then told me he was down to vote for Shane, which like makes sense. So Adam voted for John, and that is actually stupid. Like, I don't understand why boys don't think this shit through. I literally texted Adam and told him right before this that if he voted for John, then he would go home. If Adam voted for John, Adam would go home, because they two would end up voting for Adam, and then it would just be my vote against Shane. So, like, I don't understand why he, like what part of that did he not understand? Like, I'm out here trying to save his ass. I mean, like, oh well, because he needed to go anyways. John should know not to trust Shane, because he's literally done nothing but manipulate all of us. I don't understand what his thought process was. Like, obviously I know, like, I went against Shane. Shane knows that I went against him, and they're probably gonna come after me now, which is, like, fine or whatever. And, like, I love them to death. They're all so nice, but they're just, like, where are their brains? Oh. What's, like, 10 steps up from distraught? Actually, no. I don't even think I'm distraught. I don't think I'm confused or anything. I don't think I'm lost. I think the boys are lost. Oh, okay. I must be missing something. Like, it must be, like me that's getting played right now. Like, well, I mean, like, obviously I am. Like, he literally won the, what's it called? The challenge, where we all said that if we were voting right now, we would vote for Shane. And he's done nothing but, like, step up his game since then, I guess. I think I'm frustrated, because I feel like the answer was so clear for, like, all of us, that, like, Shane needed to go. Like, we had been gunning for him for weeks. And we had the chance, and it was right there, and then John was like, yeet, sorry. And, like, also, Adam, like, the more I think about it, the more, like, I just don't get it. I mean, like, whatever, like, it happened. It happened, I can't do anything about it.
I think I've seen the 5 stages of grief in the past 20 minutes.
I need a nap, bro.
Okay.
For like a week. Like, I should not wake up until it's time for this damn challenge.
All right.
Yes.
Alright, first things first, Matt. The last time. Once again, immunity is up for grabs. For your final immunity challenge, you will be holding a cone, and in between, up against the wall, and in between the cone and the wall, you'll hold a domino. You can only touch the domino with the cone. If it touches your hand, you are out. Last person, and you have to keep the cone and domino above your head. If the domino falls and it's like down here below your head, then they're out. Last one with the domino still against the wall wins immunity. Guaranteed a spot at the final tribal council where you will plead your case to a jury of people that you yourselves took apart in voting out about why you deserve the title of sole survivor. We'll get Junior's prize and we'll get started. 3, 2, 1. This challenge is on. Today is day 63 of the season.
Woo!
63 days. We have 4 more days and the season's over. One of you will be the winner. One of you will be a jury member. The other one will come in second. Will be the first loser. Nice. Oh, John will be a little bit.
Oh!
I didn't even realize. Hand on pin strategy.
Solid.
Pretty solid. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One hand.
That was fresh.
Alright. Now let's see how long you guys can go. Can I switch hands?
I'm a little bit salty that I didn't get the blue domino.
I did it alphabetically by the color I chose. It's just how it came out because he's blue for a second. And you're green for for nothing, yeah. John slips and falls. John is out of the challenge. No shot at immunity. Just as we were talking.
I was laughing at the Azteca thing, and then I looked at my domino was on top of my head.
John, this is second endurance challenge, second time slipping off.
These challenges are not my forte.
Feel free to drop whenever, bud.
Honestly, like, I was trying hard in that challenge, but not that hard because I know Madison will take me between the two. I mean, she wants Shane gone so bad. And Shane and I have had a deal for a while. And the thing is, like we've had a deal, but Shane has also screwed over a bunch of people, and he would be smarter to take Madison over me. But, I mean, he was a smarter decision to take the final 3 than Adam, so I don't feel too bad about losing. I think I definitely have a better shot at beating Madison, so if she wins, good for her. I would feel bad because I think Shane and I would be like a very deserving final 2, so it would be a badass final 2 if he won and then took me, and then we can duke it out at the end. But if Madison won and took me, I think I would have like a very good chance of winning, so that's where I'm at.
Wait, can you tell me how you got Adam to vote for John?
I convinced him that John was going for him, and I convinced John that Adam was going for John. And I voted for him.
What?
I was asking how you convinced Adam to vote for John.
That was more.
How are your arms feeling, guys?
Good.
My arms feel great.
John's arms feel good?
I'm hanging out.
Shane, how's your arm?
Okay. I feel like it's probably just going to be another one of those things where it's not going to be blood flow. Yeah.
What is blood flow? We don't know her.
No.
We been going an hour?
We are past an hour.
Sick.
Nice.
Let's go for 2, kids.
So bored.
We are a third of the way where we were on those poles at Looter.
Go get yourself some rice and relax.
Yeah, get
Well,
some
honestly, I'll go to McDonald's. Does anyone want anything?
Yeah, I'll take a smoothie.
I'm not going to McDonald's. I lied straight to your face.
Not the first time, yeah.
Oh.
You were
not want to just go in third place.
Yes. Not.
That'll leave a sick taste in your mouth.
I'd rather not come in second place.
You'd rather come in third than second?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Second's the first to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theory.
So at least I wouldn't be first. Or, you know, you can.
Shane promising. Sorry. Interesting tactic there, Shane. We have Madison, who's the last remaining girl. John, the last remaining Azteca, and Shane.
Who's just there?
I don't have any special names.
Me and Emily had a final two.
You guys had a final two deal. I believe it. And honestly, after Adam pulled out that idol, I didn't expect it to be anything.
I mean, just proves that I've played a little game.
Shane is,
Coming from the one who literally told me that I wasn't part of the alliance. But like, okay.
I didn't literally tell you, like,
You said it. In front of me. So like, whether you meant to tell me or not, you did.
Yeah, I was kind of in just like a bad state at that point. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You will be.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1 foot. Can't touch the other leg.
What?
Has to stay up.
Alright.
Can I touch the wall?
You want to take me to the end?
If you drop right now.
I don't know if I can trust you though.
Okay.
How can I trust you?
I don't know, you just can't. I mean, I stayed loyal to you for how long? Until like last week? Okay. Shane, if you drop, I'll take you.
Interesting there, Shane. Interesting way to block the wind. Shane blocking the wind still.
No, I'm not.
Madison drops out. Shane wins final immunity. Alright, Shane, come get it. Third immunity win. I'm picking us this time. Shane, you will have a chance to plead your case in front of the jury.
Yeah.
One of these two will join you. On Tuesday, you'll make that decision. Sorry. See you then. We have some of the members of our jury. We have Carson, Josie, and Adam voted out of last tribal council. So Shane, after last tribal, you and John's reaction was very celebratory. How important was last vote?
Last vote was crazy. It was really important. I thought I was at least gonna have to go to a challenge, and the fact that we were able to work together and pull that off, to vote Adam off, I thought it was a really impressive move. I thought it did really well.
So Madison, on the other side, did their celebrating worry you at all going into last challenge?
I think it would have worried me if the challenge was right after tribal, but I had some time to process what I was feeling, and I was good by then.
So let's talk about last challenge. John, you your hand slipped and the domino fell about 40 minutes into the challenge. Tell me what happened.
I kept the trend going of being pretty terrible in these challenges. I thought I was pretty good, and then I remember my exact thought process. I was like, oh, my domino's blue, and I started on Azteca, and I knew Shane's domino was red, and he started on Red Terror, and I was like, oh, I wonder what color Madison's domino is. So I looked over, and I looked back, and my domino's resting on top of my cone. I somehow like scooted it down, and I tried to like catch it, but yeah, not my greatest.
And Madison, after an hour and a half, I made you guys stand on one foot. How much was it did that make the challenge?
Very. I think I lasted like, what, 15 minutes after you made us do that? I mean, like, my arm was good. It was just, I lost my balance. So, way to hurry it along.
So, Shane, you're the man of the hour. You won the challenge. How did it feel when you realized you first won?
I mean, it was definitely like, really cool to like make it all the way to the end and have a chance to win.
You didn't feel your arm.
I didn't feel my arm. Yeah, my arm went numb, and like she was pushing me. I was really tired. Like my knee was. I hurt my knee.
Give you a run for your money.
She definitely gave me a run. It was a really good challenge. It was definitely really tough, but it was ended really well. I was really excited.
When did the pressure set in of, oh, I have to make a big decision tonight?
I mean, right after, I was just like, it was like celebratory. I was like, this is awesome. This is amazing. And then I went right back into like, I have to make this decision of who I'm going to take to the end. But it's cool that I get to make that decision.
So you've known these two for 65 days now. How difficult is this decision?
I mean, it's definitely challenging. I have to like weigh out my options, but I think I made up my mind pretty quickly as to what I wanted to take. So I think it went well. I'm excited for the final.
So, John, tell Shane why he should take me to Final Tribal Council instead of Madison.
I mean, I think the biggest thing. So Shane and I have been working together since after Alexis was voted out. We pretty much like kind of had a final two deal ever since then. We've been together ever since then, and I think it would be very poetic for the two of us to get to the end. And also like right after the challenge, he said that he was with me, and then just like 2 hours ago, he also said that he confirmed that we're gonna stay true to final two. So if he does vote me out, he's screwing me over very, very badly. And with Shane's track record with the members of the jury, I don't think screwing over another one is the best option for him. And I think Shane has very good arguments against both me and Madison. So I think it would be more appropriate for him to at least stay loyal to what we said a long time ago.
Madison, give me a pitch as to why Shane should take you instead of John.
Well, we were teammates, bud. I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that we worked together for a while, but I don't think that thought is reciprocated. So I didn't think of a pitch. I didn't really think of a pitch. I just kind of like accepted that it wasn't gonna be me, and then like didn't really think that far ahead. So there we go. That's it.
Shane, do you think with John's comment, do you feel like the Final Tribal Council has already started?
To a certain extent, like we're all like pitching our points to the jury. I know that for me, I don't have the best track record with everybody on the jury, but I hope that at this point they respect that I've got to this point, and I hope that I can like at least listen and hear me out on the final tribal. But yeah, I mean, I have to like think about who I can be at the end too. It's really important at this point. So.
All right, let's get to the vote. Because Shane has immunity, John can only vote for Madison, Madison can only vote for John. Your votes cancel out. Shane will cast the sole vote, and in doing so, you will vote out the final member of our jury and decide who you want to sit next to at Final Tribal Council. Decide to vote. Shane, go cast it.
Final vote. This is pretty hype. I'm really excited to just be in the final, and honestly, the person I'm taking to the end is probably going to be a surprise to some people.
I'll go get the vote. I'll read the vote.
12th person voted out and the 7th and final member of our jury. Madison, we're giving you a torch. Madison, Travis focus. Time for you to go. Yep.
Cool.
Well, Shane, John, congratulations. You made it as far as you can in this game. The power now shifts from you to the jury of 7 people that you had a hand in voting out to decide who wins Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage. You have 2 days to prepare for your final tribal council. I'll see you then. Head out.
I should have thought about this when I didn't think of my pitch.
I think you played a really good game. You came on really hard at the end. You pushed me in that last challenge, but I already made an agreement to John, and I'm trying to stay loyal to it. I hope people see that I'm not just somebody who stabs people in the back. I'm going to try to explain that. But yeah, this is my move.
No, I think that I played a decent game, and I think I put up a good fight there at the end. And I think that Shane definitely made the right decision for his game, and I'm proud of him, actually.
I was a little worried because it would have been smarter for him to go to the end with Madison, but we did have our final 2 deal, and with how many people Shane had screwed over, I considered the possibility of him screwing me over too. So if he screws me over, then that's really a horrible look on him, and that's why I brought up what I did at Tribal Council.
Like, I think he can definitely beat me though, so it could be like strategically not the best move. No, I really didn't think I could make it this far because I just felt like people were gonna start to see me as a threat and try to vote me out. I thought I had a good chance to make the merge, but I felt like once I got to the merge, it was gonna be really hard. And so the fact that both John and I made it, I think is pretty awesome. I personally feel like I played a better game than both Madison and John, but you know, I know there are people in the jury who have worked with John more than they've worked with me, so.
Like, the pitch that I want to make to the jury is that I was proactive. I always wanted to make sure that I was in the best situation possible.
You know, I was only vulnerable in like maybe 5 or 6 rivals throughout the game. I think that was something that kept me in the game a long time. And then I had a lot of big moves. I made a lot of strategic plays. I was able to keep myself safe. I think that was the end game. Just make sure I could get through the next vote, and I was able to do that. I think I did that pretty flawlessly, honestly. I had one person write my name down the entire game.
I realized very early on that I was terrible in the challenges. So my approach has been, okay, always go into every single vote and make sure that I'm in a position to survive no matter who wins immunity.
It's gonna be close, I think. I think he's gonna pin me as like the guy who stabbed everybody in the back. Like, I was the guy who, like, you know, couldn't stay on one side. I flipped a lot, and I don't think that's how it really happened.
Shane played a very hard game. He played very tough, and he won a lot of the most immunities of everyone.
I visually see it as I had to survive and I had to advance, and in order to do that, I had to make moves to further my alliance, which I tried to do.
But I think the biggest difference that I want to explain to the jury is that Shane won those immunities because he put himself in a position where he had to win immunity to survive. And I had a completely different approach to where I was thinking several steps ahead. I always wanted to make sure that I was in a position where no matter who won immunity, I was going to be able to survive the vote.
People should recognize that I had to play a little bit harder than he did. I had to win 3 of the last 4 challenges just to make it, because I was going to be voted out for sure.
Shane played a very good game, but he played harder, whereas I think I played smarter.
I think, like, in that challenge, I think it was like final 6 or final 7, where we had the challenge where I was pinned as that biggest threat. I didn't realize people saw me in that way as somebody who was already making big moves, turning on people, ... And like, I had to continue doing that to a certain extent, but I hope people realize it's not because I was voting them out to like backstab them or do something like evil or whatever. It was more of just gameplay. It was strategic. It was the best move, and I wanted to be, and honestly, I wanted to be loyal. Like, I tried to be loyal, and I hope people will see that too. Like,
so now it's just kind of a battle of trying to who has a better case to Plea.
All right, Shane, John, welcome to Final Tribal Council. We will now bring in the members of your jury. Carson, Jimmy, Josie, Alexis, Emily, Adam, and Madison voted out of the last tribal council. John, Shane, welcome to your final tribal council. It's only fitting that we end the season. 1 Red Terror, 1 Azteca, 1 senior, 1 freshman. Tonight, the power shifts from you to the jury of 7 people that you and Hank are voting out, and they will decide who they think is more deserving of the title of Sole Survivor and the winner of Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage. They will ask you questions, and your job is to persuade them to gain their vote. Let's get started. Opening statements. Shane, you're up first.
Okay. First I just want to say I had an absolute blast playing this game. I know it's been like a really long semester doing this, like it's been kind of crazy going back and forth every day, feeling like we're always strategizing, doing things with Survivor, but I've had an absolute blast doing it. I just want to say like tonight, I just want to be open and honest with all of you. Like I hope that you can like be brutal, be like real with me, like be raw. Like I want to answer as many questions as I can. I want you guys to just like hit me hard, like go for it. But I know it's been like I made a lot of moves. I know I think a lot of things happened for me during this game, and I just want to be open and like let you guys understand like what my perspective was, why it happened, why I felt like I should do, why I should go through wild different things. Like yeah, I've had a blast. So.
All right, thank you, Shane. John, your opening statement.
Alright. So like Shane said, like it's been so much more intense than I actually anticipated it to be. And for me, it's just been a complete roller coaster. I've come out on top sometimes, and then I've gotten knocked off. But I'm very much like I figured out my strengths. I figured out my weaknesses, and I kind of played off of that. As far as between me and Shane, I think we both have played phenomenal games. So I'm very happy to be sitting up here with it being the two of us, because I think we're both very deserving. But for me, like I took a very different approach to the entire game. Shane was very, very good in the challenges, and I was not very good in the challenges. So I had to take a very different approach to, especially the latter half of the merge. After Josie was voted out, I was kind of knocked off the pedestal, and I kind of had to scramble my way back up. But at that point, I had to be proactive. I had to be looking several steps ahead, and I knew that I couldn't rely on the immunity challenges. So pretty much a majority of the votes towards the end of this game, I was making sure that going into it, no matter whether I had immunity or whether I didn't have immunity, I was in a position where I knew that I was going to be able to survive that vote. And that was really sort of the justification behind the decisions that I made towards the latter half of this game. I mean, that was the whole reason why at Final 5, I went to Adam, I went to Shane, and I wanted to do a Final 3 guy deal to survive that vote, because I knew going into Final 4, I wanted both Shane and Adam there, so that no matter who won immunity, I would have one of the two of them, if not both, to make sure they got voted out rather than me. So I very much, towards the end of the game, I was very proactive. I was looking several tribals ahead to make sure that no matter who won immunity, I knew I couldn't rely on the immunity challenges, but I made sure I was in the best position every single vote. And it went all the way up until the end. I wanted it to be me, Shane, and Madison in the end. In the Final 3, because I knew both of them would take me to Final 2 no matter who won. So I took a very different approach than Shane. I think we both played very, very good games, but that was my approach, and I think, like Shane said, I think that I'm deserving to win. So for that reason, I'm going to be completely honest with all of you with all of your questions. So very much grill me, find out what you want from me, because I think I deserve it, and I will be completely honest with you.
Alright, jury, some of you have waited a very long time to address these two gentlemen. I know you have questions and want some answers. You are seeking information to make a very difficult decision, and let's get to it. Madison, start us off.
Ooh. Okay. First off, I want to say congratulations. I'm very proud of both of you for making it this far. I guess I don't really know how to say this. So at one point or another in the game, I did work with both of you. And eventually you guys both turned on me. So this question's for both of you. Why do you think that you deserve my vote over the other person? Whoever goes first, I don't care.
So I guess for me, I know that we started working together really early in this game. red hair quad squad was real. That was true. I know that you thought for part of the game that you were used as a number with me. That wasn't the truth. I wanted to go Final Four with you, Josie, and Alexis from the beginning. That's the original alliance I formed, worked with them. Wanted that to happen. But as the game progressed, I had a big target put on my back, and I realized that you were one of the people who wanted to vote me out really badly. So I knew that I had to do something to progress my game and keep myself alive. So like John was saying, like for me it was survive and advance. You know, I was down after Alexis got voted out. I was clearly on the bottom. Like I was gonna get voted out for sure after that. And I was able to just keep myself alive, win challenges, stay in the game. It was definitely a roller coaster for me too. I felt like at the beginning I was on the top. I made a big move and voted Carson out, and that put me in a pretty good position. And then I got my game flipped after Alexis got voted out, and I had to adjust, had to change, and I ended up voting you out because in the end I felt that John and I built an alliance. I wanted to stay loyal to it, and that was kind of what I wanted to do throughout the game. It was really hard. It's really hard to stay loyal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had a very different story. I mean, me and you didn't talk until halfway through the merge. It wasn't until right after Josie got voted out that I had gone to you and was like, okay, Shane and Alexis need to be broken up. But I think that really sort of epitomized what I was doing towards the latter half during most of the merge. I was going to the people. I was very deliberate with who I went to, who I was having conversations with. I put myself on the line many times. I went to the people that I knew I wanted to work with for the upcoming vote to survive that, and that's how it was. So we worked together on the Alexis vote, but that next vote when Emily was the next plan to go, I knew that we weren't going to be able to work together. But then the next vote, we sort of worked together with the Final Four vote. So it was very much, we had a good relationship, and I very much intended to go to Final Three with you, and that's what ended up happening. And I know I screwed you over, but it was part of the game, so.
Okay. That's all. Good?
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next up, Jimmy.
So my question is for both of you as well. What was the biggest mistake you made while playing the game?
That's kind of hard. I would say, I guess being too open with how close I was with Josie. I think that was a major reason why it completely got turned around on that vote. And I think both of us we both were die hard wanting to go to the end together. And I think I kept it in for a while, but I think eventually it started becoming more clear that me and her were closely aligned. And that was the worst tribal council of all of them the entire game. Because I was the only one left out of that vote, completely knocked off the pedestal. I was still able to work my way up after that, but I think at the time, I wanted to go farther with her, and I think I could have done more to kind of keep people from being threatened by our friendship. So I think that's probably the one thing I would say.
So for me, my biggest mistake was when we voted you out. That was the tribal that it started to flip and shift for me. I wanted John out very, very badly during that tribal. I was trying to do everything. I was whispering in people's ears, trying to vote him out, and I could not do it because I did not realize that him and Josie were that close to each other. And that was a mistake for me. That was something I was like, I cannot believe this. That's when the power started shifting a little bit more towards John and away from me, because I felt like you and I were solid, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't change the numbers. I couldn't flip it. And that was the mistake that, for me, the game started shifting in the wrong direction. I had to do whatever I could after that to win, but I lost that power position after you got there. All right, Jimmy, thank you.
Okay, so like you said, you made a lot of moves throughout this game. You had your hand on a lot of different things. You tended to know what was going on. But can you think of a specific moment, move, alliance that was a reflection of your overall strategy? What was your goal throughout this game?
Well, I mean, I honestly think the biggest move for me was really early in the game. I think that I really wanted to be a loyal player in this game. I don't know if that would be said throughout this because I tried. I initiated that initial alliance with you and Josie after that first challenge. I wanted to stay with that. And I guess the biggest move that kind of showed that I was with y'all is when I voted Carson out. But I could have easily stayed with the guys at that point. We would have had numbers. But I shifted the game. I stuck with my original alliance, and I wanted to work with you all because I made that initial connection with you. So that was kind of my, I don't know, that was the thing that kind of like showed like what I wanted to play a game like. So yeah.
Okay, John, like you said, throughout the game, at least the earlier portion of like the merge, you didn't always know what was going on. You didn't have a lot of control over how the votes went. You kind of played blind a lot. If you had control over the game, if it had been up to you to pick someone to go to the end with, who would you have picked and why?
To go to the end with?
Yeah, if
I
it
mean,
were
as far
up to
as-
you, who would you have gone to final two with?
Josie.
Okay.
From the beginning. And I think if I mean, playing it from the merge, I mean, we made our final 5 guys deal, and the plan was to go to final 5, and I was willing to stick with that for 1, 2, maybe 3 votes. But at that point, like, I was close with Josie, and I wanted to just kind of utilize that guy's alliance for as long as I could to take out people who I didn't have as close a relationship with. So, like, you and I had a bit of a dialogue, but like Madison, at the time I had not talked to her at all. After everything with Azteca, I thought Emily was against me. So I really, at the merge, I wanted to use the 5 guys to take out those people, the people that I really didn't have a dialogue with at the time. But ultimately, I mean, Josie and I had a friendship from the beginning, and I was willing to see that through to the end.
Sweet.
All right. Thank you, Alexis. All right. Josie, you're up next.
Hi. I just wanted to say congrats first. Like, if I didn't end up in the final 2, this is the final 2 that I am like most like proud of. But you guys did a great job. So, okay, question time. I'll start with Shane. Is that okay?
I can do whatever you want.
Okay, Shane, you did a good job. You got me good. In one of the challenges, the one where we asked questions about like everyone, you won the most deserving to win. Like at that time, like everyone voted for you. But my question to you is, can you give us 1 or 2 reasons why John deserves to win?
He did a great job of staying in the game, staying like able to get through votes, like keeping himself alive. For me, like I think that was maybe his best move was just staying alive in the game. He made a couple good strategic plays. You know, he voted Alexis out. That was impressive. But I mean, for me, I just feel like I had a say in voting out more people. I think if we talk about like him deserving to win it, in my opinion, I think this because people would be upset versus them. So.
Okay, and then John. Let's see. Well, first, to be honest, like once I got voted out, I thought you were a goner. Like, cause I was like, oh my god, he's the only one that voted with me. So like, I did not think you were gonna last long. But I am impressed because you were clearly able to like use those calm major skills to really like convince everyone, like make sure that like you were not going home each vote and like persuading people to vote other people out. So congrats for that. So my question to you is, what was the most important vote you cast and why?
I definitely think the Alexis vote was probably the biggest turning point. Because at that point, like I was hardcore, like me, you, Alexis, Shane. I really didn't have too much of a dialogue, but I like had like a deal with him sort of through you and Alexis, and then Adam I had a good relationship with. But it wasn't until after you voted out, and then after that vote, I was like, Alexis and Shane need to be broken up, and that's what sort of opened up the dialogue with Emily and Madison, and I think that opened up a lot more routes for me going forward. So I think going into the Alexis vote, I think I was able to open up my options, not only for that vote to get the votes to take out Alexis, but then also going forward, I had a better relationship with pretty much every single person in the game. So I think that was probably like the biggest turning point.
Next up is Carson.
Hey folks, how we doing? Good. Good to see y'all. So I went into this. I'm throwing a little comment on. I went into this about 80% sure who I was voting for. But John, I want to ask you about one thing you said a couple minutes ago. So you said that you commented on the Five Guys alliance that we tried to get together, and how you plan to use that to get out the people that you weren't as close with and all that. And then you said Josie for the final two, but that kind of contradicts the kind of like original three, or the like last three idea that you, Adam, and I were kind of like playing around with. So what's the deal with that?
So I was very much like I did, I'm not gonna go against that now. Like, I had a very, very close relationship with Josie. But other than Josie, like, you and Adam were my two guys. Like, I wanted to use the final five guys, but realistically, like, between the four of you, me, you, and Adam, I was like all four of the three of us going to the end. Like, I really wanted the four of us in the end, me, you, Adam, and Josie. But at that point, like, I had just a long-term friendship with Josie, so I probably would have seen that through. But at the same time, I mean, like things change. Like, it could have changed throughout the time. I'm not saying like there was no way in hell I would have gone to final two with you or Adam. But I did sort of have like this long relationship with Josie. But as far as my relationship with you and Adam, that was sincere, and I was definitely at the very least willing to go to final four with you guys.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. And Shane, for you, so my question, this also kind of plays into the like Five Guys alliance. After you and Jimmy flipped, it was pretty much 6-2, all of y'all versus John and Adam. And I thought for sure, like I was 100% sure it was going to be John and Adam. All of y'all, like the two of them were like doom and gloom, we're going home. And John made it. He overcame that and made it to the final two. He's here. Why do you deserve my vote more than him, despite the fact that he overcame that adversity?
I agree with you. He had to overcome a lot of adversity in the middle of the game, but the game shifted. I think at the end of the game, I had to overcome just as much adversity. I was very much in the bottom. I think when we're talking about like the vote out of you and how Adam and John were able to make it through, I knew that Adam had an idol, so I was trying to make sure I could get Adam out. Adam was my number one target for a long time. I think that's pretty clear. Like, he was definitely my biggest threat. Like, I did not want to sit here with him. Like, it's not exactly. But like, I'm sorry. but like, I was trying to make sure I could try to put votes on Adam, and with that, John was kind of underlooked a little bit. Like, I felt like I could beat John in challenges, which I did. I stayed in the game. I felt like, yes, like John had a lot of adversity in those couple votes, but once he flipped the game, then I was clearly on the bottom, and I had to do a lot to stay in this game too. Like, I had to win. I won 3 out of the last 4 challenges, and in the final 4, I had to pull off a pretty big move where I was able to take control of that vote. Like, I got Adam and John to pin against each other, and I knew Madison was going to throw a vote at me, and I was able to flip it and then vote Adam out with all that adversity, because I was clearly on the bottom. I felt like in that vote too. So yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Carson? Emily, you're up.
Again, congratulations, guys. But I guess I just want to know, I kind of have 2 questions, but the first one's for both of them. So, what you think, like, your biggest, like, best strategic move is that you think got you here today? Is there one moment you look back on that you think was the turning point for you?
So I think I had 2 votes that really epitomized like my game as pretty big moves, and I think the 2 moves for me were voting Josie out, which was really tough for me, but it was a really big move at that point. It definitely surprised a lot of people, but once I realized that her and John were really close together, I thought I was in the top of the block. I thought they were all coming for me, and I was able to swing it away from her, from myself, and vote her out. And I know it was tough. It was not fun. And then the second vote, like I just talked about, was voting Adam out. That vote, I felt I was in a lot of trouble as well, and I was able to get out of that situation where I was able to talk to everybody, all 3 of the people, and convince them both to go against each other, and then eventually I was put in the middle and had that situation.
So I think for me, I already talked about it. Like, taking out Alexis was definitely like a big turning point, just because like everyone got together and voted out Josie, who was my closest ally, and then immediately I was able to get everyone to take out Shane's closest ally. But I will say, like, that wasn't very hard to do because I felt like at that point, Shane and Alexis had made it very clear that the two of them were sort of running the game. So it really wasn't that hard for me to go to you and Madison and Adam and say, okay, we need to take out Alexis. I would actually say, like, one of the biggest moves I would say was actually taking you out. Just because, like, that really should have been an easy vote. Because I feel like between Shane and Adam, they were both massive threats. And when Shane won the endurance challenge, it was kind of clear cut. And when we had made that deal on the polls that night, I wasn't lying. At the time, I was very much like, okay, like, if Shane wins, like, Adam's the next biggest threat. But it wasn't until the day after, I thought about it longer, and that's when I started thinking long term. I thought, okay, going to Final Four, what's the next step? If we take out Adam, then I go to Final Four with you and Madison and Shane. Shane knows he's on the bottom, so he's going to work hard in that challenge. And Shane, like, and I will admit, and he said it, he's much better at the challenges than pretty much anyone else here. I knew there was a very strong likelihood that he would win that Final Four. And then at that point, it's between me, you, and Madison. That I didn't see me surviving that vote. So that's why I went out of my way and I went to Adam and I went to Shane, and that is when Shane and I made our Final Two deal. That's when the three guys got together. We were like, you know what? It's smarter for us to go to Final Four with only one of you two, between you and Madison. And that was really the beginning of sort of my proactive strategy of thinking several steps ahead. So I think that, and going forward, like, I think that sort of paved the way for the rest of the game, to where I pretty much every single vote after that, I made sure that I was in the best position to survive the vote, regardless of immunities. And I think that's really the biggest difference between Shane and I's game. I think Shane, a large majority of the time toward the latter half of the game, he had to depend on those immunity challenges to win. And I did not want to put myself in that position, so I thought several steps ahead, and it worked out perfectly to where every single immunity, I didn't win immunity the last 3 or 4 challenges, but I was always able to survive those votes. So I think that was sort of the turning point, was taking you out, to where then I started thinking several steps ahead.
Kind of answer my second question for you, so
one little thing, like, about the vote, like, voting you out. So I know Don was saying that was a lot of his move, but it was honestly very equal. Like, I knew that you had 2 advantages in the next challenge, and that was something that was, for me, like Don just said, like, I was depending on immunity challenges to stay in the game because I felt like I was good on the bottom. So I had a big say in, like, convincing everybody to also vote you out, because I just knew, like, that next challenge, if you had advantages, that was going to be really detrimental to me in my game. So I just wanted to say, like, that was also, like, it was a lot more equal than it sounds. Like, we worked together. I talked to everybody too, voting you out too.
But for me, it was like, I had no intention of working with Shane before that. I mean, after he voted Josie out, I was like, I'm never working with him ever again. But it wasn't until I realized, okay, you know, it's smarter for me to go to Final Four with both him and Adam. And that's what sort of initiated that conversation.
I had no like reason to work with you, like, but I felt like I was on the bottom, so I had to kind of latch on at that point. So that's why I started working with John. But I stay loyal, like, I promise you, so, like, you know, like, yeah.
Finish it up.
Alright, Shane, you preach this game of loyalty, but I think you can say that there's only 2 people on this jury that you didn't backstab. You did backstab Carson, and you did backstab Alexis. I mean, Madison and Emily were only slight backstabs because you weren't that closely aligned. But I mean, me, Jimmy, Josie, and I mean, they were all pretty big backstabs. So, like, what do you think was the most important one to your game?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that you, like, I had to get you out. Like, I know this sounds really bad, but I knew you had both of those idols, dude. Like, you found the first one, and then I found out you found the second one. I had to do something, because if I was sitting here with you, you would beat me, for sure. Jimmy, I don't really feel like I backstabbed. I felt like I just got kind of screwed over too. Even though I voted for him, I was not in favor of that. I think I voted too. And with Madison, like, I don't really feel like I backstabbed Madison. I think that was, like, pretty clear that John and I were working together at that point. I don't know. I mean, I know that she was coming for me. I know she placed a vote on me, so I kind of had to protect myself. But I think, I mean, I know that throughout this game, you and I kind of, like, I went after you a lot, after me, and then I went after you again. I know that was really hard, and it's not fair how I played with you. I should have been honest and open with you, but I honestly just feel like you would have beat me. I think you were the best player outside of me.
Alright, so John, my question for you is, the people on, I'm going to do post merge, the people on this jury, what alliance do you think was most important? Whether that be like building an alliance with somebody on this jury, or breaking off from somebody, which one do you think had the biggest impact on your game?
You're saying post-merge?
Yeah, with the people on this jury.
I mean, it's interesting, because like, I was close with Josie, but like that got nipped in the bud very quickly. So I think like long term it might have been just because we had like our whole history with Azteca. So I always like, you were one of the few coming into the merge that I knew we had a dialogue with, and even though like we didn't work together on several of the votes, like you were someone like I always felt like when I wanted to go to you, like I felt comfortable doing that. And I think that was comforting in a sense compared to Emily and Madison, to where like going to them for the Alexis vote was very like out of the blue. It was like I really I had to open up that conversation with them, whereas you and I felt like it was very direct. Like I could go to you straight up and be like, okay, like Alexis and Shane need to be separated. Like I think just with our history with all of Azteca, I think just having you in the game so long, I think you were like my longest running sort of, even though we didn't work together, like ally in a sense.
Alright, thank you, Adam. Alright, closing statements. We'll start with John this time.
All right, like I said, like it was a roller coaster. I had fun regardless of how this ends up tonight. But at the end of the day, like I think Shane and I played very good games, but I think we played very different games. And I at least at the end of the day, like I tried throughout the entire game. I tried to be deliberate with everything that I was doing. I didn't try to make alliances with people for no reason. When I went to someone to work with them, I made a point to where it was for a specific purpose. And I recognized my weaknesses. I knew I wasn't good with the challenges. I lost Josie early on, and that was me sort of getting knocked off the pedestal. But I adapted my game after that. I knew that I couldn't rely on the immunity challenges. So at that point, I started thinking ahead. I was proactive, and I made sure that going into every single vote, I was going to be in a position that I was going to survive the vote. And I was able to turn the votes around and get Alexis out immediately after Josie was voted out. After that, I thought several tribals ahead, and I made sure that I wanted to sit in Final Four with Adam and Shane, so that no matter who won immunity, I would be able to survive the vote, because I had one, if not both of them, to work against to survive that vote. And that was something I predetermined. And at that point, at Final Four, that was the first tribal in 3 tribals that Shane was immune. The only reason I stuck with him was because I knew that there was value in going to Final 3 with him and Madison. Because I knew sitting in Final 3, I knew there was probably a low chance that I was going to win that challenge. So I wanted to go to the end with 2 people that would take me to the Final 3. And I was very deliberate about that. And it was very nice, and it worked out perfectly how exactly I wanted, because I was the first one out of the challenge, and I didn't completely throw the final immunity challenge. It was an accident when I fell out, but I had no intention of winning that challenge. I wanted it to be a testament that whichever one won that challenge, they were going to take me to the end, because that was the game that I played towards the end. I wanted to be a proactive player. I wanted to put myself in a position where I knew I was going to survive every single vote. And Shane winning that final immunity challenge and taking me was a testament to me predetermining that it was best for me to sit in the end with those 2. And sitting in the end, after I fell out, they tried making a deal, but I knew it was. I thought it was awesome, because there was no chance that either one of them were going to take each other. So, and that was something that I planned ahead for, and it worked out exactly how I wanted. And I know Shane played a very, very good game, but I think Shane played a tougher game. I think he played very, very hard, but I think I played smarter, and I never put myself in a position where I had to rely on immunity to survive. So, regardless of how this works out, I think we're both deserving to sit up here, and I had fun the entire time. So, even if I get second, I enjoyed the entire thing. So, thank you all.
Thank you, John. Shane, closing statement.
Yeah, following that. So, I think John talked about my game pretty well. I had to work really hard this entire game. You know, I stood on a light post for 3 hours. I was doing that domino challenge for 2 hours. I won so many challenges. Like before the pre-merge, I went to 1 tribal. Post-merge, I was vulnerable in 5. I think that's kind of impressive in the fact that I won a lot of immunity challenges. I stayed in the game. I kept working really, really hard throughout every challenge. But also, I think a lot of people overlook my strategic game. I had a say in voting out a lot of people in the jury, and I know that it may be like in the wrong way. I know that people might be upset with me in that sense, but you know, John really only had a say in voting out Alexis and Adam, and that's the big 2 that he had a say in. I mean, Jimmy, he kind of was able to wiggle out and stay alive, but you know, I think I did a really good job of staying in control, like keeping myself above water, like keeping myself, just keeping myself alive, like. And I know that it was a roller coaster for me too. I had to adapt my game a lot too at the end, where I had to play full out. I came in like final 9. I was in the final 3 of that first immunity challenge. I lost it on purpose. I didn't want to win. I wanted to stay. I didn't want to have that big target on my back immediately. And after I voted Carson out, I knew that target was just going to start growing, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I still survived. I think that shows a lot that at the final 7, I was told that by a lot of people that I was deserving, and the fact that I still survived and made it here, like, that's a testament to my game. Yeah. I had a blast getting to know all of you. I hope we can still be friends after this. Like, regardless, second, first, whatever. Like, it's been a blast. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Shane. All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Jerry. John, Shane, your work is done. The only thing left to do is vote. Jury, you have all the information you need. Are you guys ready to vote? Yes. For the last time, it is time to vote.
You said a lot of stuff in that final tribal council that was really contradictory and made me feel like you snaked a lot of people.
God, you'd think I was in kindergarten the way I write.
Coming into this, I know everyone probably assumed that my vote was decided, but I really did want to come into this with an open mind, and I think I did come into this final jury with a really open mind. I hope you win, man. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Okay, so this was a really hard vote because I think that you guys have both been very strong players all the way through the game.
I think you played the best game out of anybody here.
For the last time, I'll go tally the votes. Guys, it's been a very fun season. Even though it's our first season, you guys came out here and you came to play. Everyone here should be proud of themselves for making this all happen. Started seeing you doesn't happen unless you guys are here to play this game and you came out here and did it. So I just want to say thank you. John and Shane, you two arguably played the hardest out here, and that's why you're sitting there. So congratulations, no matter what happens. Finally, for the last time, I'll read the votes. First vote, John. Shane. One vote John, one vote Shane. John. Shane. 2 votes John, 2 votes Shane.
Who's left, lads?
John. Shane. That is
That's the way to go out.
3 votes Shane, 3 votes John. There is one vote left. The winner of Survivor CNU Maiden Voyage. Shane.
That was a way to end it. I was like...
Next season on Survivor CNU. After an incredible first season, Survivor CNU returns with all new contestants, and a twist at the beginning shocks the players, forcing them to change their strategies.
Must have got it misprinted.
No.
You two guys.
As the players get themselves in deep water, who will have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast all the rest to claim the title of sole survivor? Join us for Survivor CNU in Deep Water, coming in 2021.